Hello and welcome back to Geometry and starting Unit 4, talking about lines and angles. So I know that the blurred lines video is like everything that is wrong with the music industry. It was just objectifying women, and it has a horrible message. But, but Robin Thicke's wife made sure that those lines were not blurred anymore, and she made sure to divorce Robin Thicke. And guess what? Though it's very clear what he was doing was wrong. And so today, what we're going to do is that we're going to blur these lines. We're going to unblur these lines and make them nice and clear. So our objective today is to identify the angles formed by two lines and a transversal. So, uh, the angles that we're going to be talking about are corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, same side interior, and same side exterior. All right, so let's get right into it. So, a transversal is a line that represents two coplanar lines at two different points. It intersects. So, like this one is the transversal because it intersects two lines at two different points. This one only intersects once, and this one only intersects once. Okay? The transversal T and the other two lines R and S form eight angles. So eight angles are formed by the transversal and the two lines. So in between the two lines, it's called the interior, and outside of the two lines are called the exterior. So interior and exterior. And basically, these will help us name all the different angle pairs. So the next one is corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are on the same side of the transversal. So they're either in this case, either the left side or the right side of the transversal, and on the same side of the lines of their respective lines, so like R and S. So for example, 1 and 5 are corresponding angles because they are on the left side of the transversal and above their respective lines. 4 and 8 are another pair of corresponding angles because they're on the right side and below their line. Alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles lie on opposite sides of the transversal and lie between the two lines, in this case R and S. So for example, 3 and 6 are alternate interior because they're on alternate sides of the transversal, and because they are inside the two lines. Alternate exterior angles are very similar except for they're on the exterior of the two lines. So 1 and 8 is an example of alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles. And then, but 2 and 7 are another example as well. Then we have same side interior angles. And same side interior angles could be like, interior. So like 3 and 5 because they lie on the same side of the transversal, in this case the left side, and they're in between the two lines. So they're in the interior of the two lines. So 4 and 6 would be another example. There's also something called same side exterior angles. And so basically, same side exterior angles lie on the same side of the transversal, but outside the lines R and S. So let's take a minute to try to name some of these angles based off of this diagram over here. So name a pair of corresponding angles. Well, in this case, 1 and 3 are corresponding because they are on the same side of the transversal and to the left of the two of their respective lines. But 2 and 4, 8 and 6, as well as 7 and 5 are also corresponding angles. Basically, think of it as like if you lifted this one up and just brought it over, they would be in the same spot. Next is name a pair of alternate interior angles. So alternate means like opposite, interior means like inside. So opposite sides of the transversal and inside the two lines. That would be like 2 and 6 or 3 or 7 and 3. Alternate exterior angles, so like opposite and outside. So 1 and 5 and 8 and 4. Same side interior angles, so same side of the transversal. So this is the transversal. Same side of the transversal and on the interior. So 2 and 3 would be same side interior, as well as 7 and 6 are same side interior angles. Lastly, we have same side exterior angles, 1 and 4 and 8 and 5. So you might be saying, like, why are we learning all of these different things and why does it really matter? Well, we are going to be building our knowledge of proofs and later lessons, but we need to make sure that we have the foundation of these 5 terms as well as interior, exterior, and transversal. So now that we've named, now let's figure out how we can identify. So angles 2 and 6 are what? They are on opposite sides and they're on the outside. So they would be alternate exterior angles. 4 and 7 are same side interior angles because they're on the same side of the transversal and on the inside of the two lines. 2 and 8, they're on the same side of the transversal, so they're not alternate interior or alternate exterior. This one is on the exterior, and this one's on the interior. So when we have something like that, they would be corresponding because they're above their respective lines, or one's in the interior and one's in the exterior. And then lastly, 3 and 7. 3 and 7. What would that be? That would be alternate interior angles. So we're going to finish up with one that's slightly more complex, where the transversal isn't necessarily clear, because all 3 of these lines, L, M, and N, could be at transversal depending on what angles we're looking at. So we're going to identify the transversal and then classify each angle pair. So we have angle 1 and angle 3. Okay, so looking at angle 1 and angle 3, which line crosses the other 2 twice that involve angle 1 and angle 3? In this case, it is line L. And in line L, angle 1 and angle 3 are corresponding angles. So the transversal is line L, and these are corresponding angles. Okay, what about 2 and 6? 2 and 6. The transversal is line N, and these are alternate interior angles. And then lastly, 4 and 6. 4 and 6. What are those? Oh, sorry. What is the transversal? And what's the angle relationship? So the transversal is line M, and they are alternate exterior angles. All right, guys. So with this information, please go on and do the online quiz and have a good day.